Hey, I'm Jaleria.
And I'm Beau.
And this is Soapboxing. So, nice to meet you, Beau. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm running for Knox County mayor, union guy. I'm with the iron workers, as you can see. I've been, just doing stuff in the union world and trying to build coalitions with the community and try to get people better jobs and stuff like that. But, now I'm just trying to help the community in a different way.
That's exciting. So I know the election's on August 6th. It's around the corner. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I mean, I feel really hopeful. I've learned like how big and how diverse this county is. There's so many different communities that I've been to, and that's been a really good, enriching experience.
Yeah, I love that, especially because when you're able to actually be face to face, connect with people, it's incredibly important so they know that you're actually there with them, standing for them. Yeah. But since we are always talking to people, we're interacting with people all the time, I'm sure you have some hot takes, things that you've noticed that you're like, all right, we gotta work on this. So I'm curious to know, what soapbox are you standing on?
Knox County is not a red county, it's just a low turnout county.
All right, tell me why you feel that way.
So, people make all these assumptions about where people are at politically in the county in general, but particularly in the rural areas. They're always saying, oh, it's a red county, nothing could ever. And I really, honestly, people on the Democratic side too, I think that they make so many assumptions in the city as well, but they just kind of skip over talking to certain people because they're making these assumptions that they've always had certain views, and things change over time a lot more than people realize, and a lot of the kind of right-wing shift that has happened is much more recent than people realize. And when you go out into the rural areas, into the holler, and you talk to people and actually connect with them, it's a lot more complicated and diverse, and in what people think about and what they believe than what you would think from just making these assumptions about it being a red county.
When in reality, when you do talk to people, at the end of the day, we all have the same core values and we all want the same things. We all want to feel loved, safe, cared for, have walkable cities, be able to afford where we're living. And I feel like personally for me, that's a bipartisan issue.
Right.
Like there shouldn't be any red, blue, purple, whatever associated with basic human rights and care.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And we're just working with a two-party system, so
literally.
I'm honestly doing it reluctantly, but other people are much more quick to just embrace it and think that that's but you can't get anywhere with just thinking, you're just there to represent your team.
My soapbox is, children should not be allowed in bars. Some spaces should be sacred for adults. And I say this with my full chest, and honestly, I'm coming for anybody in the comments who disagrees, because in my opinion, bars are sacred for adults to unwind. We work, we have to deal with bills, we're trying to build friendships, engage with our community, and the last thing I want to see is your 2-year-old while I'm out here having margaritas with the girls. I feel like I can't be the only one, right?
Yeah, smoking a cig on the patio with the toddler right next door is kind of...
Literally.
Yeah. I don't really know why you would want to bring your kid to a bar, but
thank you. Leave them at home. Take them to the parks.
Yeah.
Do it anywhere else.
I want to hear from the people in the comments. What's your reasoning for this?
I would be curious to know too. Okay, but I know I'm rambling. I'm very passionate about this topic, so I'll pass the mic to you. Do you have another soapbox you're standing on that you're passionate about?
You don't need an F-250.
Oh, snap. Oh, no. People in the South are going to be mad. Why do you say that?
It blows my mind that the top selling vehicle in the United States is an F-150. And, if you want a truck and you want to haul something, get yourself a Ford Ranger, get yourself an actual truck, and not these abominations that are just the cab size keeps getting bigger while the bed gets smaller. It's just an image thing. It's not anything to do with the actual utility of it. And it's one of the most obnoxious things about the way that people kind of use cultural signifiers in the South now to try to act like they're, you can just put a hat on, put a fish hook on the bill.
No, truth, yes.
So, yeah.
If you go to Bass Pro, you have an F-250, you're down.
Yeah.
You're Southern for real.
What if I did a take about the Jester scares me?
That's a good one. That's a good Knoxville specific.
I just made prolonged eye contact the other day at a red light, and I just sensed malice in their eyes. So I don't know.
Malice and skipping.
Yeah.
I don't see the connection. I don't see the connection. Every time I see them, I feel like they're always just like so jovial, very sweaty though, because that's a lot of skipping, a lot of moving. But I feel like at this point they're like a mascot or like an underground mascot of the city. Like you're not really a Knoxvillian until you've seen the Jester.
Yeah, true.
The Jester also is like finding Bigfoot. You always go on Reddit and someone's like, Jester spotted here, and you know what bridge, what location. But the only thing I don't like about it, because Reddit also can know a little too much information about you, which brings me to my next soapbox, that selfies are the reason we have been more comfortable with mass surveillance. Hear me out. Now, this might be my tinfoil hat, but people have just been telling on themselves and being very comfortable with sharing their data, their inner thoughts, and it's starting to snowball to where even AI is your therapist. And it's like, to what end? I don't want everyone to know where I'm at or what I'm doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that, like with the flock cameras, I think about, beyond the government overreach. It's like the idea of a third party, like same thing with Palantir and things like that, them having access to that kind of data and just being even less accountable than the government.
Yes.
But we're already, as you said, we've been giving that data away to these same kind of tech companies for the longest time, so.
And I feel like it's because there's this idea that if you're not willing to share, then you must have something to hide.
Yeah.
And I think we've lost the plot on privacy is just an inherent right. I know one of the biggest things for me that's terrifying is because you're having fun, you're sharing photos of your life, you kind of forget that people are watching. And you can have content that's online from like 2015, and you might have someone out there who's like, googly eyes about you, a woo good, and they can do a whole Wattpad One Direction fanfic style of you, and that freaks me out. That's terrifying. You have no control. And I feel like, for me personally, that's something that I wish like we were able to control, or honestly even have some sort of opt-out system for. But
yeah, there was one time somebody made one of those. And it was like it was the one that got like a ton of like likes or whatever. And it was like flashing images. And one of them was like me and my cat. And I was like, that was literally like only on my story like
that's crazy.
4 months ago, and it was still a private account. And then
so it's somebody you know. Or someone hacked your Snapchat or your Instagram or something.
Yeah.
Like there's ways to do that. You can scrub people's Instagram.
Some people are rumored to say that you are putting them out yourself.
Oh wow.
Okay, I'm not. That's on Kelly's record.
Come over here. Yeah, some people say that, Beau, you're putting out the thirst traps yourself.
That would be really weird.
He's trying to get the young Beau. That's the Gen Z Beau. He has a Wattpad account. All right, you gonna play a game?
Yeah.
Let's rapid fire. Let's stand on some serious soapboxes.
All right.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, hot take for me. You don't have to wash your hair every day, but you better be showering every day.
That's a good one. I think everyone should do art, but it should take a lot more to call yourself an artist.
Ooh! Not every hobby needs to be monetized. Keep some things for yourself.
We all need to know less about each other.
Don't come up to me on the dance floor if you can't dance. You're messing up my flow, you're ruining my groove, and the atmosphere is weird what you can hear now.
The Sun Sphere is Knoxville's Eiffel Tower.
First Friday closes too early.
If you tell me you don't like cats, all I'm hearing is that you don't like boundaries.
And if you say you're allergic to cats, you're weak. I'm just joking. Well, thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it. So it doesn't sting to do your civic duty. So elections, August 6th. Oh, sick, bye.